Hi moms, I'm here to talk to you today about self-compassion. And this work comes from Kristen Neff, and she has a wonderful TED Talk on self-compassion that I encourage you to look up and watch. And self-compassion is really essential as moms because we tend to beat ourselves up when we feel like we've messed up. We're often the most critical of ourselves. And when we beat ourselves up after we make a mistake, it actually doesn't help. Because when we're relating to ourselves in a harsh way, it sends a whole cascade of responses in our bodies that block learning. It stimulates the release of cortisol, stress hormones, and adrenaline. And that gets in the way of our ability to kind of integrate what we're hoping to learn so we can change. So what's helpful instead is practicing self-compassion with ourselves when we mess up. And the cool thing about this is if we can change the way we relate to ourselves when we mess up, if we can practice being more kind and gentle and caring with ourselves when we make mistakes, this will eventually translate into the way that we discipline our children. So we're kind of exploring a shift in our own self-discipline so we can eventually change the way we discipline our kids. It's really profound to make these shifts from the inside out. So the next time you make a mistake with your child, I invite you to take a few moments to explore these 3 steps to self-compassion. So the first step is non-judgmental awareness, non-judgmental naming of what just happened. Very simply, objectively stating what happened. So it might sound like something like this. I just raised my voice with my child. Or I said A, B, and C, whatever it was I just said. So just stating what happened as simply and plainly as possible without so much storyline or name calling towards yourself. Without the, I'm such a bad mom, I can't believe I did this. Just, I raised my voice, or I said A, B, and C. And step 2 is self-kindness. Practicing being kind to yourself around this. So you could either put your hand to your heart or wrap your arms around yourself and even speak a word of endearment towards yourself, like, it's okay, sweetie. I know this is hard. You didn't get much sleep last night and your child did X, Y, and Z, and it's difficult. So just a little self-kindness for yourself, some self-understanding. And then step 3 is bringing in an awareness of common humanity. So it might sound something like this. I know it's hard. I know it's hard, sweetheart. And you know, there's millions of mothers around the world right now who are feeling this exact same way, who just raised their voice when they didn't want to. And they're not feeling that great about it either. You're not alone in this. So when we can greet ourselves this way, by 1, naming what happened non-judgmentally, 2, offering self-kindness, 3, tapping into common humanity, it changes the way we relate to ourselves, and it primes our bodies and our hearts and minds for true learning and transformation. See, the Buddha taught that hatred just leads to hatred. Only with love will it heal. So when we do something that we don't feel good about, that felt like it was a little bit not so nice, instead of pouring more not so nice into it, we can surround it with love. Practice loving. Practice loving yourself first, and it will easily come out with the way that you discipline your kids. Thanks for caring enough to practice.